Good morning and welcome to Ahiah's meditation service. I am here with you this morning to just take you into the center of your being and allow yourself to just be relaxed. So if you would just sit flat with your feet flat on the floor, get really, really comfortable. Get so comfortable you're floating. And then, take a deep breath in. As you release that breath, release all the noises around us, release everything other than this space and place. Release all that is other than this moment. As I'm standing here releasing the noise around me. So you know that when you are in meditation, it's that stillness, that space and place that you go to where all the noises around you no longer exist. Just contemplate that for a moment. That everything has prepared you for silence. Everything has prepared you to go into the center of your being no matter where you are. Of course, except if you're driving. If you're driving, please stop. And take this moment to be in the stillness. To capture this time for yourself. And just know that you can be in the stillness no matter where you are in life. No matter what is happening in your life. You can take a moment for yourself. I call that high self-care. And be in the stillness. So I'm going to invite you now to just find that place inside of you where you know the sweetness is. And maybe before you find that place, why don't you take a moment and tense spaces in your body, starting with your head and working your way down to your feet. And every space and place in your body that you can tense up. Tense it and then relax. That is just the easiest way to become still. And while you're going through your body temple, see where there is tension, more than usual, and tense that space again, and then relax. And when you've completed that process, just still your mind and find that perfect place within. It might be where your heart center is. It might be your stomach, just because. But find that place and relax there. And just know the truth that you are divinely guided, protected, and loved. Take another moment and block out any noise It might be traffic. It might be people talking. It just might be the noise of your mind. Block it out. For in the stillness resides the mightiness of you. The gift that you are to yourself. The beauty that came when you were born. Just find that still small space within you. And as you relax, release your week. All those days, just release them. And think upon faith. Your faith. And see what faith means to you. Is that a place where you trust God? Is that a place where you know God? Is faith within you a place where you relax and stand in the wisdom of who and whose you are? Releasing any questions, releasing any challenges, releasing all things other than the perfection of spirit as you. Find the wisdom of faith within you right now. That place of trusting your inner guidance. That place of knowing the truth. That place that can just be so tiny right now, or so vast because you have built up your faith. And be with it. For truly, when you trust in the God within, you are trusting your faith. No matter how little or big it is. And as you notice, it's gotten just a little quieter. That's faith. So take this moment and look upon your life. and see where you desire more faith. And ask yourself, can I increase my faith as I look into my life at this space and place where I desire more of it? Can I increase my faith right here, right now? And relax in that awareness and be with that statement. Can I increase my faith? Be with that. And I ask you in this moment to let that inquiry be your action for this week. Can I increase my faith? So when you go into meditation and when you do your spiritual work this week, ask yourself, can I increase my faith? And if you'd like to take a bigger challenge, why not ask yourself if you can do something daily that you show yourself that your faith has increased? It's your choice. It's your action. It's for no one else to know. So I ask you if you can make that commitment as we prepare to come back to this time and space and relax into the loving arms of Spirit, knowing that if you ask, it is already given. Simply done. Just make the inquiry. So now just return to this space so gently and easily and effortlessly. I call you to high self-care. I call you to support yourself by loving yourself, deepening your faith, and taking as many moments as you can to return to this space of meditation, silence. So as we bring this moment to an end, I say namaste. And allow yourself to just relax in this moment in time as we prepare to go into the meditation video and Ahiah celebration service.
Look at this face, I know the years are showing. Look at this life, still don't know where it's going. much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Look at these eyes, they never seem matter. Look at this dream, so bitter and so bitter.
Don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. So many questions still left unanswered. So much I've never broken through.
And when I feel you near me, sometimes I see so clearly the only truth I've ever known is being you.
Look at this man, so blessed with inspiration. Look at his soul, still searching for salvation.
I don't know much,
But I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Good morning, Ahiah, and welcome to live streaming and live service from the Ahiah Center for Spiritual Living in beautiful downtown Pasadena, California, USA, in the heart of the Theater Village. Yes, that's where we are. I'm Reverend, say it again? Playhouse Village. There you go. I got it right. Yeah. The Playhouse Village. Who knew? Right? I'm Reverend Michael, glad to be your guide on the side today and welcome you to Being the Oasis of Life, our prosperity series. We are on the 4th week today and our wisdom talk is expanding our oasis. Reverend Scott Olson, our senior minister, will deliver the wisdom talk today. And today we also have Deborah Thompson in the kitchen cooking up a wonderful meal for the pledgers, and your admission ticket is your pledge card, which is in your bulletin. No amount is too small or too big. And if you need to help expanding your consciousness, I have right here in my pocket some $1 billion bills for you. So all you have to do is just say the word, say, yes, Spirit, I want my $1 billion. Okay, you are on the list. You are on the list, sister. Don't There's one with your name on it. And we want to give thanks to our practitioner on the other side of life, Nancy Thompson, who at the mastermind groups 2 years ago brought forth the idea of $1 billion consciousness. You know, $1 million is not what it used to be, is it? No. But $1 billion is kind of, yeah, that might do it, right? Yeah, maybe. So it's just an idea for us to expand our consciousness, knowing that there's unlimited abundance. And to help us do that today, we got our musical inspiration, Karen and Connie Rouse in the house. They're going to lift us in song today. Our Sunday band, Jingus Yalkaya is on the keyboards, tickling the keys today. Yes, thank you, Jingus. Leon Johnson is on the bass. And holding up the rhythm, the percussion, yes, is Brian Menifee. Yes, indeed. So we're going to make a joyful noise in just a moment. Our practitioner of the day is the one and only. We're so lucky because she's on her way to Ghana for the Three Black Men event, yes, with Resma Minicum and Bayo Akomalafe and Orlin Bishop. In Ghana. So we are so fortunate to have her as our practitioner of the day. Thank you, Marcia. She's going to lead us in inspirational reading. Yes, yes. And invocation. And with that, I think we're ready to get God's party started. Yes, have I forgotten anybody? I know Frederick Southern is over there managing the flow of electrons in the sound booth. We want to honor him for his service. Thank you, Frederick. And our ushers and greeters, Betty Thompson's at the table. If you have not yet turned in your pledge card, you can turn it in to her. Oh, no, actually, we're going to have a sacred ceremony for you today. And we'll have a basket for you to turn it in. So just hold on to that pledge card if you haven't turned it in yet. Also, I want to call your attention to the fact that there is a scroll that you should have. If you do not have your scroll, you might want to raise your hand right now so that one of the ushers can come bring you one. Okay, Reverend Scott needs one, Leon needs one, and we're going to do a sacred ceremony a little bit later, right before the conscious contribution, and you'll see what this scroll is for. But if you just can't wait, you can open it up and peek and see what it is, right? Okay? All right. So with that, why don't we invite Connie and Karen to the platform for our congregational, and our song today is Pour Yourself in Me. Yes, Pour Yourself in Me. And the words will be on the screen. So Ahiah Mass Choir, I invite you to please stand and join us in singing Pour Yourself in Me.
Wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful joy, pour your joy in me, Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, love. Pour your love in me. Pour your love into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Self, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit.
Good morning again and welcome. It is so great to be here. My name is Marcia Bradshaw, and I'm a practitioner emeritus here. And we're just going to go into prayer. How grateful I am for this moment in time, for each person here and all those that are listening from afar. How grateful I am for the planet that we are on, for the peace, the joy, and the love that we each express. So I just call in this moment in time, this moment of preciousness, as I speak this word into the light and love of existence. I know in this moment that right where we are, God is. God is the expression that I am. God is the expression that each one of you are. And is that perfection, that love, that light, that peace that we exude on this planet, that is the gift that keeps giving and allows us to live life more fully. So I bless this service knowing that it is good, for it is great, for it is God. I bless each person that has come this day to be of service, to bring this service into the moment in time that each of us can experience it. I bless the ministers, Reverend Scott, Reverend Michael, and all those individuals that are in ministries known, the music, the sound, the lights, all of the ministries that are here, the service ministry and the food ministry, because there's a food ministry here today. I just bless it all, knowing that it's good, knowing that it is full with the light and love of Spirit, that the hands that have come together this day are blessed, for they are serving. Each person is serving in a loving, peaceful, joyous way. I bless the life that we all live, individually and collectively. And I know that we come together to express joyfully in this day and every day. And for this awareness, for this consciousness, for this center, for this planet, for this environment that we're in right now, I say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For I know that the gift that has been given to bring each one of us to life, to fulfill life on this planet, has been bigger, wider, richer, and more powerful than any of us know. So I say that this gift is orchestrated so perfectly that it can be none other than the power of Spirit giving each one of us the richness and the fullness of life. I say thank you for this awareness. Thank you for life. Thank you for each person present and all those that support this ministry, for it is God expressing fully. And I know that this day is a good day and that the power of living fully is already done in the mind of the one. And I release this into the law of life and living and say, it is good, it is done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and amen. The reading today is taken from How to Experience Unexpected Prosperity. I'm renaming the book. It says something else, but I didn't like the title. So I just renamed it. You can check with me and see what the title says. I'm like that, I just change things according to how I need them to be. Right demonstrations. The affirmation is, I believe true prosperity includes the demonstration of right living conditions, right activity, and genuine happiness. Some people believe that their lot in life is to struggle, eke out a living, and live a drab, colorless life. Not here. To them, prosperity is something that, if it comes at all, won't amount to much. How sad for them. They could just as easily enjoy a life of plenty, live bountifully and beautifully, and have a lot of fun doing so. What do you believe about prosperity? Have you put limitations on it? Have you been too willing to settle for less and live in surroundings you don't really enjoy? On the contrary, is your life filled with the kind of activity that keeps life interesting and worth living? Are you as happy and as fulfilled as you want to be? These questions are asked to challenge your thinking, to encourage you to take a good look at your belief systems and your acceptance level. If you do not fully believe and accept that the universe wants you to live splendidly and demonstrate in accord with that, you can change your thinking. True prosperity absolutely includes the demonstration of right living conditions, right activity, and genuine happiness. Right living conditions means to be beautifully clothed, housed, and transported in the manner that makes you feel best. You can demonstrate these circumstances through the use of your own mind power, according to the spiritual laws and principles that govern true prosperity. Demonstration is the manifestation of your desired good in your life. Namaste.
Thank you, Marcia. By the way, this was left last week. Does this belong to anybody that's here today? Nope. Okay. So, Connie's already up here, but I'd like to go ahead and ask everybody to do just a nice little Ahiah welcome to the people around us here. We got plenty of people back in the back that are kind of taking care of stuff to get us ready for our pledge lunch. We've got lots of people in the kitchen. And we have people that are online, so I'm going to wave to the folks who are online. It's so good that you're here with us today. So, Connie, take us away.
Thank you, Reverend Scott. Good morning, Ahiah. As always, wonderful to be with you. We're talking about Oasis and prosperity, right? Karen and I were talking on the way over here about whether or not your cup is half empty or half full. In prosperity, you want to make sure that your cup is at least half full and getting fuller, right? So even in the time of difficulty, there's always something to be grateful and feel prosperous about. We're going to do, or I'm going to do a little song for you by Nina Simone. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies are having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, now that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me, and I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Oh, scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Her freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Yeah, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Yes, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Oh, so good, and I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good now. Absolutely. Thank you, Connie. I love our band. Do you guys love our band? I love our band. And you know, it shows the strength of our band that Chris is out of town. We've got Jengus in as our guest pianist, and yet it all just kind of pops, right? So thank you, guys. So here we are in our final week. Can you believe it? This is the fourth week of our prosperity season. So we call that program that we do each and every year Awakening Abundant Living. And then we have a new theme each year. And so this year's theme is being the Oasis of Life. And how do you like the final stage of our sanctuary decorations? Now, you if you weren't here last week, then you probably have not seen this. We have water. Doesn't that sound good? So we have the water of spirit running through our sanctuary, and I just love that. I do. And so we have lanterns with the light of spirit. We've got the drapes, this is a tent, right? And so we have the shade of spirit, We have everything that we need from spirit symbolized right here. And I truly, truly do love that. As Reverend Mike mentioned, today is going to be our pledge lunch. So, and anybody who's pledged gets to join us in that lunch. And I'll talk a little bit about that, more about that at the end of service. But our mastermind groups are also going on. So if you have not had an opportunity to go to a mastermind group, Monday at 3 o'clock right here with me is mastermind group. So you can come down here. I would love to chat with you. We also have Thursday afternoon with Patricia. What time does yours start, Patricia? 6 o'clock, okay. And then on Friday with Reverend Mike on Zoom, those last two are on Zoom, at 4 o'clock on Friday. So you just tune into our Zoom station. And so, the wonderful thing is that all good things have to end, but we just keep on building, don't we? Our prosperity doesn't stop with our 4 weeks. Oh my God, Helen, you're back from Taiwan. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Caught me off track there. So we are talking about being prosperous all 4 of these weeks, and we've covered a lot of ground. And remember, we started out in the desert 3 weeks ago, and now we're at the Oasis of Life. And one of the things that is important with prosperity is just recognizing that you're aligning yourself with all that Spirit is. That's how to live a prosperous life. There's no secret to this, right? This is simple stuff. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? That's kind of where I've found I am with everything that we teach here, is that it's simple concepts. Concepts are not hard at all, but it's not necessarily easy to truly embody these concepts. And so, coming here on a Sunday, it reminds us each week of different things, reminds us to do and be. Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the law of attraction, though, because Ernest Holmes, he went out there and he found all these ways that this simple process that we call the creative process that God is, right? Remember, Spirit just says yes? You guys have heard that one before, right? Spirit just says yes, but what does it say yes to? Well, it says yes to what we believe, what we think, what we feel, what our intentions are. And oftentimes we don't really understand what we believe. We don't really know what we're thinking in every moment. And so that brings us to my favorite capital A word, right? Awareness. Being aware of what we think, what we feel, what we believe is really important, just so that we can choose, do I still want to think that? Do I still want to believe that? Now, Ernest Holmes, he went out, he's been dead for a while. He died in 1960. But before he died, obviously, he went around the world. He studied different philosophies, different religions, different ways of being with Spirit. And he came up with some different things that he called laws, because Spirit, lucky for us, reacts the same way every time. The exact same way. We don't have to guess about Spirit. We don't have to look at a calendar and look for the full moon days. We don't have to wonder about the mood of Spirit, because there's no such thing. You know, spirit is always love, is always peace, is always joy, 100%. So we don't have to worry about any of that. We don't have to placate spirit, but we do need to, if we want a particular result, we have to put a particular input into spirit, our thoughts. So some of these different laws that he came up with, have to do with prosperity. Some of them don't. You know, some of them are just kind of the basic ideas of how to be with spirit. But there is a law. I'll talk about two of them today. The first one is the law of attraction. And this is what he says about that. He says, we will attract the people, places, and conditions to maintain our current level of consciousness. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Well, what's a level of consciousness? Does my mind go up and down, right? Not really. It's another way of saying that is we will attract the people, places, and conditions to maintain what is normal for us. What's normal? And so if our normal is to just believe that the world is not our friend, then we attract the people, places, and conditions that prove that to us. Spirit just comes back and gives us what we put into it. It gives back to us. It reflects back to us what we put into it. And so we want to be clear on what our normal is. And if we don't like our life that's showing up right now, well, the answer then is to have a new normal. Create a different normal than what's creating what is in my life right now. Right? Simple, not easy, right? That's the thing to keep in mind. So we do practices that help us to understand that. We take classes to help us understand the nuances of all that, to get us in touch with what we believe. And so, what I'd like to ask you is, what have you been attracting in your life that you want to change? Right? Think about that for a second. I'll tell you about something that's I've been attracting into my life lately that I don't like, and I'm actively trying to change it. I've noticed, I've been talking to my husband Gabriel about this, that I have been getting really annoyed in traffic lately. Just really, really annoyed. And I think it's because, the traffic keeps getting worse, and so it's broken that magic threshold of an hour for my commute sometimes, right? Not all the time, but sometimes it hits over that hour, and I'm like, in the old days, we didn't know. It wasn't until we got there that we knew it took us an hour. Now we put it into maps, and I look, it's an hour, right? And so what I have noticed in particular that's been happening is, I'm in a lane, and I get behind somebody that's got this huge vehicle in front of me. I can't see what's going on in front of them. And so I'm puttering along behind them, stop and go traffic. And I notice that the lane next to me is going much faster than my lane. So eventually I move over into that lane when I can get a chance. And that's when I see that the car in front of me has 20 car lengths in front of him. And what's happening is everybody's just going around him in the lane on the right, getting in front. So our lane goes a little bit slower, their lane goes a little faster. And so the judgments, right? I'm like, I'm a scientist, right? I'm like, they tell us only one car length per 10 miles per hour. They are not doing 200 miles an hour. They're not even doing 20. And so I have all these judgments running around. So I've decided I don't like to be annoyed when I'm driving. I want to be at peace when I'm driving. So what I have been doing this last week, as much as I can, I am actively working on this, is I am noticing the people who drive the way I think they should. Right? So there are people out there, right? There are people who drive like I don't think they should, but there are people who drive the way I think they should. I'm very happy with those people, extremely happy with those people. So I am actively out there. When I drive home, I am actively looking for them, and I am raising and praising those people in my mind, right? Raising and praising. I talked about that last week. And so I am just identifying with them. I am seeing them. If they turn on their blinker, I love people who use their blinker. I love them. So if they turn on their blinker, I'm like, thank you so much for turning on your blinker. And I don't know, you can call me crazy, but I think that's the way this thing works. Lately, I've been seeing more people with blinkers on. I've had fewer people in front of me that are leaving 20 car lengths, right? So I think it works. I do. What about you guys? What is going on in your life right now that you think you're attracting that you want to change? Just shout it out, and I'll repeat it so the people online can hear. What do you got? Rev, I can always count on you.
Unexpected bills.
Unexpected bills, okay. So what could you notice then that's kind of the opposite that you could bring more into your life of?
Unexpected income.
That's exactly right. Unexpected income. That's exactly it. That is the number one answer, right? So we look at what we don't like, and we look to see how we can balance that, right? Does that sound like something you guys could try this week? All right. So, you know, one of the other things that I've noticed is I've also been finding a lot of unhoused people who have been very vocal lately. And so, you know, with words that are not kind. And so I've been actively looking for people who don't fit that, right? People who may be housed who are kind. People who are unhoused who are kind, people who are just walking by me that smile, right? And so I'm going to tell you in a couple of weeks how that's going, you know, because I do think we have a profound effect on our own personal environment, what's around us, right? Okay, so, you know, a person that I do not find annoying, somebody who I love to talk to, somebody who's always smiling, and by the way, they sing pretty good too, is Elizabeth Hangen. And so I'd like to ask Elizabeth, come on up. You know, we've been doing this prosperity sharing, so we're just talking about how prosperity is showing up in our life. And so Elizabeth has agreed to join us this week. By the way, Elizabeth was on our prosperity team. I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun, wasn't it?
It was. It
Yeah.
always is. That's like my third one, I think.
Yeah, let me just get my questions here. Otherwise, I ask them questions that they didn't prepare for, you know. So, Elizabeth, how long have you been coming to Ohio?
Okay, so I've been at Ahiah since November 2019 after somebody got elected into office that Tuesday. That Sunday, my you-know-what was in church.
I think she's talking about me. Well, okay, and how did you find us?
I'm probably through various ways. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say. You know, word of mouth, probably because I used to go to the church in West Covina.
Yeah.
And I was also a member of the Up Church, Della Reese's church.
Oh, yeah.
So just about being these kinds of churches in general. So, you know, when you're ready to go, you just sort of look and see who's around.
Yeah.
Plus, I used to live up on Los Robles, and when the church was up the street. And it was so funny because I would always try to find the church. I could never find the church. Couple of Sundays, I'm not kidding. I got in my car. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to go find this church. I got in my car twice, and I passed it. And now I understand. I guess I wasn't meant to find it until it was here.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what that was
Right?
about. Had the address and everything. And I think I pass it every day, and I could never seriously find where the church actually was located. I don't.
But now that we're in this building,
It was so
it's
easy.
just been a magnet,
As
right?
A magnet. So
And-
here we are.
What do you appreciate about Ahiah?
Okay, well, just like everyone, of course, our congregation is amazing. And that's everybody, ministers, music, everybody. So that's the first thing.
Yes.
And then also the feeling of being grounded here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go to other kinds of churches and people are visiting and they go, oh, well, what church did you belong to? And they go, oh, I'm a member of such and such a church. And they may have been a member of that church since they were kids. Maybe they haven't visited that church for a long time, but the fact that they were in fact a member, that it grounds them and they carry that with them. And so that's what Ahiah has done for me, that it's a grounding experience for me. It's home for me, not only physically but emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
This is home. So if something's going on and I'm like, okay, so if I was at church right now, or what would I be hearing right now in about this situation?
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciate that very much.
Very good. I'm right there with you on
Yeah.
that one. I love that one. And then how has Ahiah helped you in your prosperity?
There's not enough time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I've learned to really trust the universe. It's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to put it into action. And I have so many examples. I won't go on because I really could. I've learned to move in spite of my fears. And as many of you know, I've got this new adventure, the circle song thing, which I'm like, charging full ahead. And
Right here, November 19th.
One here, November 19th, and then I have another one set up out in Claremont at the Center for Spiritual Living out there.
Yeah.
I'm working on one for New Year's Eve, and I'm just like,
Yep.
I'm on a roll, and I'm fully, like Patricia was saying last week, it's already done.
Yes.
Right, I know it's
Yes.
already done. So I already know that this is something I want to get into, and it's going to happen for me, and so that's it. So being at Ahiah and part of the prosperity group, but also just in general, has taught me that, okay, you can do this.
Yeah.
Just step out on faith, because God has your back always.
Yeah.
And so just do it, and if it's really right for you, it's going to happen, and
Yeah.
that's what's happening.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank
Let's
you,
give her a
church.
hand.
Thank you.
Already done in the mind of the one. Okay, so what we're talking about this week, the talk title for this week is Expanding Our Oasis. So last week we found our oasis, right? Now we're going to live there. We're going to make it bigger, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about how to be more prosperous. We know the oasis. We know Spirit is our source. How do we then take the next step of really pulling in more good? One of the things that Ernest Holmes said is that he says that Spirit, I'm going to paraphrase, Spirit is always pouring all of itself into you, and you get to keep what you're willing to receive. You get to keep what you're willing to receive. And so we want to start talking about what are some of the things that help us to receive? What are some of the things that don't help us to receive? Now, Ernest Holmes talked about prosperity, and one of the things he said is up on the screen here. He says, Prosperity is a way of living and thinking, and not just money or things. Poverty is a way of living and thinking, and not just a lack of money and things. You guys feel that, right? There's this prosperous way of being, and you know when you're feeling and being in that way because you personally are connected to the source. You're connected to thinking that, yeah, I have an expectancy on spirit. I don't have expectations on how it's going to show up, but I have an expectancy on spirit that spirit is the source of all of my good, and I deserve it, right? Whereas poverty is a way of living and thinking. It's true too, right? We also sometimes think, man, what's that Reverend Mike used to say? If I didn't have, what is it? I didn't have any luck. Yeah, I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. Oh, that's it. Yeah, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Yeah. Or we just go in expecting, right, that life is not going to work out for us. I remember one time there was a big change up in management in the area that I was working, and I was the first line manager, and I heard through the grapevine that all of my non-exempt, so I had about 30 people who worked for me, 5 were exempt, meaning salaried, and everybody else was hourly. And all of my non-exempt, the vast majority of my section was going to a different department, and I wasn't going. I went, right? How could this happen to me, right? Oh, woe is me. So, I was a practitioner by that point. I went to the gym. The gym at that point in my life was my place to just relieve all stress. So I went to the gym. I took an aerobics class. I took a step class, step aerobics, right? Up and down on those steps for an hour. Anything that you have in your mind is gone. And I came back the next day. I was at peace that night, and I came back the next day, and the guy who was my boss's boss came in and asked me if I would be his new department manager. Now imagine, that was a promotion. Imagine if I had gone into his office and said, "How dare you? How could you possibly take all my people from me?" It would have been a different solution, right? Different answer. But because I was able to get back into that place of being in prosperity, it was the right answer. It was the answer that was good for me, good for the company too, I believe anyway. So I want to clear up something about money, right? We want to know, first of all, what is our normal with money? But what is money, right? If we want to have a new normal to money, what is it? Well, I've been teaching Prac 2. We have 3 Practitioner 2 students, all these people that are just gearing up to become practitioners. And so I'm reading the curriculum, I'm teaching the curriculum, and one of the things that's in the curriculum this week is some definitions about money. And so I thought I'd share them with you. It says, money is God in action. We are God in action. Money is a form of energy, right? I'm a physicist. I love this one, right? E equals mc squared. Energy becomes matter, matter becomes energy. It just doesn't care, right? That's what this is saying. Energy, money is a form of energy. Energy is also a form of money. Money is an extension of who we are, an expression of how our life works, right? Doesn't that make sense? Money is an extension of who we are. Money is not a commodity we need to work hard for or fight for. Right? And money is a mechanism for exchanging value. So I give money out, and I get something of value back, right? That's the basic exchange. And so we want to be in this way with money where money flows, right? It goes out, it comes in. And we need to be very, very aligned with that process. Now, Ernest Holmes gave a name to that. He called it the law of circulation, right? And the law of circulation is this idea that we are aligned with the natural rhythm of spirit, right? We are aligned with the natural rhythm of spirit. I think, oh, no, I don't have that one, but that I do have. When I thought about that, the natural rhythm of spirit, it took me back 2 years. We had our prosperity theme 2 years ago was dancing the rhythm of prosperity, right? Isn't that exactly what we're talking about when we want to be with this idea of being in the natural flow of spirit? And so if we're dancing the rhythm of prosperity, we're in the flow. We're just kind of moving with spirit. The law of circulation means we're giving in order to receive, right? And when we receive, we just naturally flow into the giving. And so some of the ways of being the flow, that was, by the way, our first year's prosperity program, right? Being the flow. And some of the ways of being the flow is we can, what happened to my, well, I made one. I don't know what happened to it. Some of the ways of being the flow is gratitude and recognition. Gratitude and recognition, right? We can be grateful for everything that we have, and we can focus on either scarcity or we can focus on abundance, right? Which one are we going to recognize in our lives as a regular basis? You know, I'm not telling you to go lie to yourself, right? It's not this thing of, ooh, you know, I got millions of dollars in the bank if I don't have any money in the bank. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is recognize where things are going well for you. Recognize the life that is working for you, and that will expand. Another one is give freely. In other words, be generous. Right? Be generous with your giving, however that's showing up for you. So we can be generous and then participate in the generosity of life. Just recognize that when we're being generous and we're giving out, we're not just giving away things, right? We're expecting to receive. I get to give in order to receive. So I recognize in my generosity that I'm participating in the law of circulation. And then be open-handed in our attitude, right? We can either be, give it away like this, or we can give it away like this, right? I am grasping onto it. I'm never letting it go. We get to choose. Which way do we look at our prosperity? When we're giving, which way are we giving? Are we giving grudgingly, or are we giving freely? And then receive with grace. I found as I studied myself, which I've done a lot of, right? That's really kind of what this calling of being a minister requires, is to study yourself, to recognize yourself, right? That capital A awareness applies to me too. And so I've noticed over the years that I'm better at receiving than giving. It's the way I was brought up. In fact, I mentioned in the newsletter this week that when I came to Centers for Spiritual Living and I actually started giving money out, it was a big deal for me. Because before that, I used to give $2 per week to charity and think that was really something, right? I just was not wired to give. I was wired to receive. So I always graciously received, but I was a stingy giver. And so I had to work on that side of me. But you know what I find is that actually a lot of people have the opposite problem. They actually have a difficulty receiving. They are a much better giver than they are a receiver. So what does that look like? You know, can you identify yourself if you have more trouble receiving? It might show up in compliments. How do you take a compliment? If I say, oh, you know, that dress looks great on you today, do you go, oh, that's nothing. Yeah, you know, I picked this up at Edgar and James, the Salvation Army store. Or do I say, thank you? You know, that's very nice of you. Let me take a moment to appreciate the fact that you said that to me. Or if I say thank you for doing something for me, how do you take that? If I offer to buy you lunch, how do you take that? Now, I've warned the congregation far and wide, right? I have told you guys over and over again, if we go to lunch and you offer to buy me lunch, you will never hear a squeak from me, right? Because I'm a natural receiver, right? I'll just say thank you. And I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. But I won't offer to pay over you offering to pay. I'm not going to do that, right? So on the flip side, how do you handle those situations? How do you receive? Do you allow people to give of their time, talent, and treasure to you? Do you allow people to support you? You know, in our pastoral care, we have a very strong pastoral care group here. I want to say thank you to Barbara Bruner, who heads that up. But sometimes what we get back from the congregation is, no, that's okay. No, I don't want any help. I certainly don't want anybody to go out of their way to do anything for me, right? I don't want to feel like I'm a burden to anybody. And so just think about that for a second. Where does that fall? My mother was the exact same way. She didn't want any help. And so my brother and I would just give her the help anyway, right? But, you know, if the natural tendency is no, you know, I'm just going to keep everybody over here, well, it's just an indication that you're having a hard time receiving. That's all. It's not good or bad or anything like that. There's no moral judgment to this. But my suggestion is to just receive a little bit more. Work on receiving the good that God is in all of its forms just a little bit more. So I want to talk for just a moment about tithing. That word, tithing, yeah. Especially, you know, if you've come from another church, you know, another religion. Sometimes tithing is handled way differently than the way I look at it anyway. I look at tithing as a spiritual principle. And so what that means is that we have to look at all that we receive in order to give a proportion of that out. What is that proportion? What's that percentage? Well, many churches would tell you 10%. I'm really getting into this today, you know. So this is not something I normally do, but I'm getting into it today. 10%, that's the way it is. Where did that come from? I don't know for sure, but I would suspect that the earliest giving of part of that really had to do with agriculture, because when you grow, let's say, corn or wheat or something like that, if you eat all the wheat that you grew, when the next year comes around, what do you plant your fields with? Nothing. You have nothing to plant your fields with. You have received, but you're not given, right? So what they do in agriculture, especially in the early days, they didn't have seed stores, right? They had to save their own, is they would put 10% of their crop aside. What they harvested, they would put aside and use that as their source for seeds next year. And that makes sense then, isn't it? Because now I'm giving 10% out to my fields, and I'm getting 10 times back, right? And that's kind of the idea, is that we give, we receive more, is the idea of giving and receiving. There's always an increase. And as I increase my giving or my receiving, I increase my giving too. That's why it's proportional in that way. Now, what do we believe in here as far as tithing? Proportional giving. What percent should you do? Well, if you have not done tithing as a spiritual practice in the past, I would just say take what you're giving right now, take that's your numerator, the denominator is what you've been receiving, and use that percentage to get started in this spiritual practice. Because seeing what is coming in and then consciously giving from what you see coming in, that's the spiritual practice. You know, a number for a percent is not the spiritual practice. Can you imagine Spirit going, I don't know, 9.9% is not 10, right? I can't even relate to that as something that would be a quality of Spirit, because that is judgment, right? And there's no judgment in God. So we want to look at that. The power of tithing is in the seeing and then the giving, and have an expectancy on where you're going to get that back. Not from the source that you give. You have an expectancy, like I was talking about earlier, on Spirit as your source of all your good. It will come back in so many ways, from so many sources. I can't even tell you all the places that I get my prosperity from, right? So, Spirit is our source. Don't look at a job, a person, a place, a thing. Those are not the source of your good. Spirit is the source of all your good. So I have a affirmation for us on the screen here. Let's say that together. Everyone is sustained through the Oasis of Life. Let's say that one more time. Everyone is sustained through the Oasis of Life. And so as you go out into your week this week, what I'd love for you to do is think about what have you attracted that you want to change, and start looking in your life for the exact opposite, right? Just look for the opposite. And then align yourself with the rhythm of the universe. That's through gratitude and recognition, giving freely, receiving with grace. Tithe to where you are spiritually fed, right? That's the place. Wherever you're going to give, you want to be spiritually fed from that place. and then, make it proportional giving. Set that percent. The number does not matter. Set the percent where you're comfortable and go from there. Set your, and then just, as I always say, just let Spirit guide you. Thank you, and namaste. And so I'm going to hand this microphone over to our associate minister, Reverend Mike Lambert here. I'm going to give this to him. He has a ceremony for us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rev. Thank you. All right, family. So everyone should have your magic scroll. If you do not have this scroll, please raise your hand. And yep, RC right here. You will auto-magically receive one in a moment. So Brother Milton is coming forward to bring you your scroll. Yes. And so some of you know our origin story, that Elizabeth Larson started a teaching institute over 81 years ago. She discovered that there's a force for good in the universe and that we could use it. And she said, people need to know about this. She started a teaching chapter. And then a community like you rose up around her and they said, hey, we need to create the first church of religious science in Pasadena. And they created our mother church, which was the first church. That became the Pasadena Church of Religious Science, which is now the Ahiah Center. It was a collective intention that created that. And today, we are going to plant a seed, our collective intention. On your scroll, you will notice an area in which you are going to insert a desire or an intention. Don't overthink it. This is not an intellectual exercise. The knee bone's connected to the leg bone, so whatever you put there is connected to your stream of prosperity. So we're going to do that together. And at the top, it says that this covenant is an agreement between yourself and the energies of higher consciousness, Spirit, God, the one who goes by many names, insert that are available to support you. By completing this covenant in a way that uplifts and inspires you, you will be bringing yourself into a state of intentionality, allowing and receiving. Your declaration of willingness to release your money stories and other stories of the past will enable you to align with being the Oasis of Life with much greater ease. So this is the beginning of your new story. Insert your desire, your intention here. Also, please put your name so that you will remember it was you that did this. And then we are going to read this together. It's our affirmation, our declaration, our decree. We will speak a thing into being as though it were, and it shall be. Okay? So, put the date on it too. That's a good idea. Thank you, Patricia. Want to acknowledge Patricia and our spiritual team, Yvonne, practitioners who helped to co-create this experience for us all today. The teens are on their way. Okay. So the teens are coming because they're going to have a basket. They're going to collect your pledge card. If you have not yet turned in your pledge card, the teens will be here to collect that for you. So you guys are going to need the basket to get the pledge cards. And then we will take those back so we can put your name on the list for the luncheon afterwards. Okay? So I am going to read this, and you're going to read it together. When I get to my name, I'm going to say my name, and you are going to say your name, okay? All right, here we go. I, Michael Bernard, right, decree and declare prosperity in my life now in the form of, and speak it into being, unexpected income. Yeah, remember that? This or something better for my highest good. I declare I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. Right here, right now, I am open to receive more abundance and to give more abundantly than I have ever experienced before. I am grateful for all that I already have, and I am grateful for all that I am ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. I am open to receive unlimited abundance, and I know prosperity flows freely into my life as I attract prosperity with ease, grace, and joy. I am worthy and deserving of all the good God has for me as I release all limiting beliefs regarding my success and wealth. I accept that I am worthy of living a life of prosperity, and I joyfully embrace my prosperous journey now. I affirm this covenant with Spirit, and I go forth into my life with a spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy. I am peace. God is all there is. I let the good God times roll. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen and amen. Amen. Thank you, family. Yes, with joy, vibrancy, and ease. And now please join with me as we end our ceremony with a prayer. The teens are coming forward with the basket to collect any pledge cards after the prayer. Oh, they're actually starting now. So let's turn within to the secret and sacred place of the Most High. And as we turn within, we realize with our realize, this one that goes by many names and responds to them all. We call it God, good, Allah, Shiva, Yahweh, Jehovah, El Shaddai. Whatever we call it, we know that even before we were formed in our mother's womb, it called us forward. It created each one of us out of its light, its love, its joy, its abundance and prosperity. And it is from this place, as we stand together in this united state of prosperous consciousness, that I speak the word of blessing for all that has been decreed and declared here. I bless this Ahiah Center for Spiritual Living, this oasis, this refuge, this place that we have co-created of safety, of love, of prosperity and abundance. I bless each person here. I bless the decrees that we have spoken forth in this very moment, knowing that it's already done in the mind of the one. We lift our eyes and say, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for we know that even before we called, you have said yes. We know the desires of our heart are the desires of the Most High planted within us to create more of its goodness, its love, its light, its abundance, and joy. And it is from this place that I just give thanks. I give appreciation for each beloved one present under the sound of my voice. I give thanks for all those who are on their way here. And we send this blessing of abundance and appreciation backwards to our mother and to her mother and to the mother of our mother's mother, 1,000 generations back. We send it to our father and his father and the father of our father's father, 1,000 generations back. We send this love and appreciation to our children, both born and unborn, to those who are yet on their way, knowing that all the children belong to us, for we are the ones that we have been praying to be born. I'm grateful for this word spoken, grateful for the demonstration of abundance and prosperity taking place in our lives in this very moment. I bless the food that is maintaining and sustaining our body temple. I bless this gathering, this loving place of peace and joy. And for this, and more than words could ever say, we join together in appreciation and gratitude, and we simply say, and so it is. Amen and amen. Mm-hmm. Thank you, family. Let the wheelbarrows roll in. Yes.
Thank you, Rev. And so now is the time for our conscious contributions. If you are here in the house right now, there are offering baskets in the pews. You can put whatever you're putting on there. Put your name on it so we know who it's from. And Milton is coming around with the golden offering basket there. The kids are going around for for your pledge cards. So if you want to put in a pledge card, this is the time. You can also put it in a little bit later. We'll be checking who's going into the pledge lunch. Make sure you're on our pledge list. And if you're not, you just fill out a form. You fill out that card and give it to us right there on the spot. Doesn't matter. So if you are online, we would love for you to contribute, do a conscious contribution one of three ways. Either go to ahiah.com/donate, text the word give to 616-229-2225, or mail in a check to the address that is here. However you do that, we love what you're doing for us and through us and as us. And so we have a blessing here on the screen right now. Let's go ahead and say that together. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving as I now share my gift with life. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Amen and amen. And so we've got Connie and Karen coming up this time. They're going to sing us another song.
All right, thank you so much. Okay. I'm feeling so good about all this prosperity and abundance. I wanted to, I wanted to just share that Karen's here with me. Of course, you know, she's my very dear friend. And yeah, thank you. We just came back from Portugal a couple weeks ago, went there I was invited to do a gig there, which was quite amazing. Never imagined it, but it was incredible. And I was going to end up going alone, but Karen came along with me. What a great friend, right? And actually ended up, she did background vocals for me too. So I just wanted to share that because I'm so incredibly grateful for her. And I want to say how grateful I am for this band as well, because we come in here every month, and Reverend Scott is right. They just pull it together. You know, sometimes, I think sometimes we bring music in, they're like, what are you guys doing? You know, it's like, but they always pull it together, and we pull it together, and I hope you all know how very much I appreciate you. So, all right, I'll be quiet and sing now. Well, there's a bridge and there's a river that I still must cross as I'm going on my journey, as I must be lost. And there's a road I have to follow, a place I have to go. Well, no one told me just how to get there, but when I get there I'll know, 'cause I'm taking it step by step, bit by bit, stone by stone, yeah, brick by brick, oh yeah now, step by step, day by day, mile by mile, and this whole road is rough and ruined, so many dangers along the way, so many burdens might fall upon me, so many troubles that I'll have to face. Oh, but I won't let my spirit fail me. I won't let my spirit go until I get to my destination. I'm gonna take it slow because I'm making it now. Step by step, you know I'm taking it. Bit by bit, I move. Stone by stone, yeah.
brick by brick,
brick by brick by brick by brick. Ooh.
step by step,
Step by step, I'm gonna
day by
day by day,
mile by mile, yeah.
go your own way.
Go your
Say,
own
baby,
way.
don't give up.
You've got to hold on to what you've got.
Oh, baby,
Don't give up.
you got to keep on moving. Don't stop. Yeah, yeah. I know you're hurting.
I know you're hurting.
And I know you're blue.
I know you're blue.
I know you're hurting.
I know you're hurting.
Don't let the bad
Don't let the bad
things
things
get
get
to
to
you.
you. Step by step,
Oh,
bit by bit,
bit by bit, I move.
stone by stone,
Stone by stone, yeah.
brick by brick,
brick by brick by brick by brick. Ooh.
step by step,
I'm gonna take it now,
day by day,
day by day.
mile by mile. Go your own way. Go. Come on, baby. Got to keep moving. Come on, baby.
I'm
Got to keep
taking it
moving.
step
Come on,
by
baby.
step.
Got to keep moving. Come on, babe. Got to keep moving.
I'm
Come on, babe.
moving.
Got to keep moving. Come on, babe. Got to keep moving.
Stone
Come
by
on, babe.
stone.
Got to be.
Come on, baby.
Come on, babe. Got to keep moving. Come
Step
on,
by
babe.
step.
Got to keep moving. Come on, babe.
Moving.
Got to keep moving. Come
Day
on, babe.
by
Got to keep-
day.
Come on, babe. Got to keep moving. Come on, baby. Got to keep moving. Come on, baby. Got to keep moving.
All right, come on. Let's give them some love, y'all.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Jengus, can you give our kids a little bit of music to come up to? We are all blessed by having our youth program. And I want to say special thank you to our Youth and Family Ministry Director, Lisa Ortiz, and the whole gang here.
Thank you. Good morning. So this month, our theme in Youth Church has been the spirit of belonging. And today we talked a little bit about covenants, promises that we make to ourselves to enhance our own life and to support others. And we also had a little sidebar where we talked about what we can do in those moments when our brain sort of scrambles and we want to react to something that somebody said that could end up getting us in worse trouble than to begin with. And so we've talked about this before as something called shark fin. Can we show shark fin real quick, you guys? So this is when we have 5 things that we remember, and we do a shark fin on our forehead, and the 5 things are soft eyes, to be still, to be straight, to be silent, and to breathe. And we go all the way down to our heart space. And hopefully that time, that little time out between the reaction, whatever's triggered us, to what we're going to do and how we're going to respond to it, gives us time to make a better decision. Yeah. Yes. Soft eyes, be still, be straight, like if you're sitting or you're standing, to breathe, and what was the other one?
The heart. End up at the heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
you come down to your heart space.
Yeah.
I'll write them down for you.
Uh-huh.
All right, and then so we talked, we had a little activity, and I've got 2 participants that are very anxious to tell you about it. Maya, why don't you start? You need to talk about the book? Okay.
Okay, so we read this book named Molly Lou Mellon, and it was by Patti LaBelle. And it was about this little girl, and she's in the 1st grade. She was like really short, like this short, and she had buck beaver teeth, and she got made fun of it for that. And she had a voice as deep as a bullfrog being strangled by a cobra. And then we read it, and her grandma told her to always smile big with her buck teeth, and to always sing as loud with her bullfrog voice, and to always walk straight with her short self.
Yeah.
So we made promises in a little piece of a note and a paper that was kind of supposed to be a note. And mine's was, I promise I will cook watermelon because I like watermelon.
Ah.
I promise I will do laundry every day.
Oh, all right.
Just to connect the dots, we talked about how Molly Lululemon had to go to a new school where she was bullied, and how she dealt with that was remembering all the things that her grandmother had told her. And she had made a promise to herself about knowing that those were the truths of who she was, not the bullfrog or the buck beaver teeth. And so we made some promises for ourselves. Thank you, everybody.
I think those are wise words. Okay, remember, we're getting billion-dollar bills out here, all right? So remember that we have change for youth. It's the big Sparklets bottle. So if you have a little bit of change in your pocket, just go ahead and throw that in. And then we have an announcement from Nancy Johnson.
Good morning, Ahiah family. This is Nancy Johnson with a few announcements for you. Today after church service is our annual pledge luncheon in the fellowship hall. This luncheon is for congregants who have made their pledge. Good morning, Ahiah family. This is Nancy Johnson with a few announcements for you. Today after church service is our annual pledge luncheon in the fellowship hall. This luncheon is for congregants who have made their pledge to Ahiah for 2024. This is the last week of our Thanksgiving food drive with Friends Indeed. Please drop off food donations by Wednesday, November 15th, or you can make a cash donation online at ahiah.com. Friends Indeed is anticipating serving 500 families in our community. Please join us in supporting our neighbors who need food assistance. We are blessed by sharing with others. The Ahiah Women's Circle is delighted to host a ladies' tea party in the Fellowship Hall on Saturday, November 18th. All ladies in our community are invited to join us for tea, sandwiches, and desserts. This is your chance to wear tea attire, including a festive hat and gloves. Come for the wonderful conversations and connections and a guest speaker at our old school afternoon tea party. Also, mark your calendar for Sunday, November 19th, when our own songstress, Elizabeth Hagen, will be leading circle songs in the fellowship hall. Join us for an afternoon of community togetherness through the circle singing tradition. Regardless of singing ability, it will be a fun afternoon. a love offering is appreciated. Our next youth fundraiser will be Chili for Camp on Sunday, December 3rd. A 12-ounce bowl of chili will be $8 or 2 bowls for $15. There will be 4 types of chili, including green chicken chili, ground turkey chili, ground beef chili, and a vegetarian chili. Each bowl of chili is served with Fritos and cheese. You can eat it here or take it home. There's a misprint in this week's newsletter, so please note the correct cost for the chili cook-off. Finally, family, as we are in the season of giving, we are reminded that each of us is blessed when we share with others. We know that we are called to help others in need. We are our brother's keeper. Thank you. Peace and blessings, family.
Ahiah to our general fund comes from our pledgers. And so that's why we're doing this pledge lunch for our pledge folks, to really say thank you to them. All you have to do to get through those golden doors over there is just fill out a pledge card. We would love, it does not matter what amount you put on that pledge card. You know, we just want a pledge. We would prefer that you kind of spread the pledge throughout the year. It helps us. And I think it helps you also as far as being in this cycle of giving and receiving. So whether it's a monthly pledge or a weekly pledge, doesn't matter. But, you know, spread it out throughout the year. That always works best. I looked this morning. We had 31 pledgers for $77,000 for next year. So let's say thank you for what has already come in. I saw a lot of pledges come in this afternoon, so that was just to kind of get us up the hill. So I am so thankful. Last year we had $709,000 in pledges. I forget which one of those two, and so we're looking for an increase and to help us out in these times of inflation. And I know that this congregation has always been very, very generous. So thank you. I want to remind you, on the 19th, we have Elizabeth in the early afternoon, and then later on in the afternoon, we have a kirtan. It's with Leah, and I think Tom Rossi will be there this time. He was here this last Wednesday. Oh my God, was he good. So, you know, if you have an opportunity to be with either one of them, and he's coming, Tom Rossi will be here at the end of the month, so you'll be able to see what he does. We also have the Mardi Gras bingo. You know, we have food, so you know what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and skip the song, our last song, and we're just going to go directly to our benediction because I don't want the food to get cold. And so let's say this along with me. There we go. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all of my affairs. I accept it, I am it, and I share it. Just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Amen and amen. So, can you smell that food? I think I can. I sure can. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. We have this basket. We're going to be keeping these pledges under prayer. And yes, ma'am? Oh, no, that's for you. That's for you to keep. And I'll see you back here. Thank you. Thank you and namaste.